I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. Tonight, the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series will crown their champions here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 1.5 mile high bank. This is going to be abject insanity, quite frankly. 14 cars on the entry list tonight, but what it may lack in big numbers, it certainly more than makes up for, not only in depth, but in how tight this field is. Less than half a second currently separating the top 14 drivers, or all 14 drivers, I should say here, as we are down to the last couple of minutes of practice. Pick up a look at the double O with Jason Hand. Before we get too deep into tonight's racing action, though, a couple of pieces of business to take care of. First, talk about our championship standings. Matt Wagner will return next season as the defending Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series champion. Matt sitting on 467 points, 36 points clear of James Watson, who will not be in the race this evening. 70 points clear of Craig Forsyth, who also, Forsyth just joining in a little bit ago here. So Craig will be in the race tonight. Possibly could pass James Watson with a win. But there's a whole lot that's got to go on here over the next 100 laps here at Las Vegas. Want to make sure we get this one in before the race, just in case we're not able to get to it afterwards with the tight timelines. But once again, proud to congratulate Matt Wagner for winning another Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series championship. Went from the 11 to 1 this season. Matt, I'll tell you what, bud, that was a hell of a run all season long. Really great consistency. 14 starts, 11 top 10 finishes. That's how you win championships.
Yeah, to me, as far as my consistency goes, to me, it didn't feel like it. I've been in the last couple of races, as you know, as you saw on the broadcast. It's not been the best. So, yeah, I know. So, the beginning, beginning of the season, it was great. The consistency was there. Uh, then it started falling apart, and I started bringing it back up again. I had a little bit of trouble on the road courses. I was able to pull it back together through. Never give up. Every point is crucial. I'm just sad to see James not here tonight. He's off to bigger and better things, enjoying Daytona. So,
Yeah, I was going to say he's taking the cold with him from Ohio down there to Florida. So it could be a little chilly this weekend trying to get out there and enjoy the races. Looking ahead here, what do you think? Obviously, we're going to get a 4 to 6 week break before the next season kicks off here. What do you do in that time frame, and will you be back to defend once again?
oh, of course, I'll be back. I'm glad to represent these guys. It's a great bunch of guys. Alec and Colin put a really good lead together. I really enjoy running with these guys, especially when Craig joined. That made things a lot better. And Eric's such an inspiration on the road course. To beat him, he's like the number one guy to beat. And it just encouraged me to get better. And I'm looking forward to next season. Just pretty proud of my guys, TWR, all the way.
Yeah, since we won't be able to talk to Jamestown, at least I don't think we will. Pretty big deal here. You guys claiming another team championship as well.
Oh, that's huge for us. James has really fully supported me through the whole way, especially all my teammates. But oh man, what an exciting season! I'm glad to wrap it up here in Las Vegas. It's going to be a nice little drafting race. Let's see if we get ended off with a bang here, hopefully with a win. If not, it's been a heck of a season, and I really, truly enjoyed it. Chris, you've been great up in the booth. Love your broadcasts as always. I really fully support you guys. And
well, thank you much, Matt. We appreciate that. We'll drop you back down to your room here so you can get out to qualify because, yeah, it's go fast time now. Let's pull the numbers up here. Jim Brooks going to be the quickest driver on the racetrack right now. Well, just as we say that, new quick time, top of the board, Vic Aldrich, 24.767 seconds. And we're actually going to see lap times about a half second slower than what we'll see during the race. J.W. Miller finishing up his qualifying run. Pick up and follow along here with Alec Coates, who's just moved inside the top 5. Coates going to be at a 24.893 seconds, 216.928 miles per hour. Already 9 cars taking time. Brandon Ishkanian moving up to the 6th position. Brandon, I believe, maybe one of the Team I5G guys. We'll have to confirm that one here, but there is a look at the 25 of Brandon Ishkanian. AC/DC on the side of that race car. That's awesome. Going to be a 24.837, the lap timer record for Brandon Ishkanian. TJ McMurray hopping up to 7th quick on the board. And a 24.867. How about Ty Richter going fastest Sector 1? See what he can do off the turns 3 and 4. And a little bit of a bobble way down to the inside. 3rd quick, 24.790 seconds, 24.790, the lap timer record for Mr. Ty Richter. And here is your defending champ making his way off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. He goes purple Sector 1, fastest overall. Wagner across the start finish line. 3rd quick, 24.769. Oh my goodness. How about 2 1,000ths separating your top 3 drivers? Take a look now at the 72 with Craig Forsyth made the midseason switch from the Greg Moore era players' colors to the Paul Tracy era players' colors. Working high through turns 3 and 4. trying to build up as much heat in those tires, as much speed in that race car as he possibly can. Only one more car left to possibly take time. That'll be Joseph Morales. He is not out on the racetrack yet, and down to about 35 seconds left in qualifying. Morales may not take time. Another very quick opening half of the racetrack, this time for Craig Forsyth. Car looks much cleaner down to the inside of the racetrack. No quick time, top of the board, 24.747 seconds. 24.747, a lap time of 218.208 miles per hour. And with that, qualifications are done for the season finale here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As we get ready to grid everybody up here, let's take a look at the weather conditions tonight presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania and, quite frankly, the whole country at this point. Keep your eye out for YSL tomorrow morning at 9:30. They'll have all the details on the winter storm coming up here that's going to affect a very large hunk of the eastern seaboard. Before tonight, ambient temperature of 73 degrees. Wind's going to be out of the north at 2 miles an hour. Only 76 degrees for the track temperature. So it's going to be a cool night. May see things cool off even a little bit further because by about lap 20 or so, the lights will be in full effect and we will be running this race into the darkness. Just waiting on Jeremy Freer and Matt Wagner to get out onto the racetrack. Looks like our pit windows tonight are really going to be pretty wide in nature. However, the big number is lap 35 is actually where we think the pit window is going to open. What that means is that it's not, you don't have to worry about saving for a 3-stop race, but you can't really get to lap number 50, so you're going to have to stop twice. Basically makes it pretty easy to make that call of when you're going to have to make your pit stops. Let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series finale. Craig Forsyth, the pole sitter, over Vic Aldrich by 0.02 of a second. Jeremy Freer, Matt Wagner on row number 2, 22 thousandths behind your pole sitter. Ty Richter, J.W. Miller on row number 3. Alec Coates, Cullen Johnston on row 4. Brandon Ishkanian and Jason Hand on row number 5. You have to go back to 10th to find of a 10th of a second here in qualifying. Row number 6, TJ McMurray and Jim Brooks. Back there in row number 7, Jeff Destino and Joseph Morales. 14 cars comprising the starting grid here tonight. Looks like the 25 of Brandon Ishkanian will serve an EOL penalty. He is currently back in the 14th position. Field's going to be in the hands of Craig Forsyth and Vic Aldrich on row number 1. And as always, race fans, the start of the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series is going to be all yours. Already one absolutely hellacious lap in the books. Craig Forsyth is the quickest of the bunch at a 31.802 lap time. Top 10 side by side. We're pack racing here at Vegas. And when I say abject insanity, don't doubt that one bit. Side by side battle, Matt Wagner and Vic Aldrich. Big run up the inside. That's going to be the 10 of Alec Coates. He'll have Ty Richter up on the outside of the racetrack. Look for 2 3-wide racing throughout the pack here tonight. a very late entry. In fact, just before the grid rolled off, Navarre Luce was able, well, started to get into the session. We'll see if he'll be able to rejoin here, but he will be several laps down. How about all the way back to 11th place, Jim Brooks, within 1 second of race leader Craig Forsyth. Wagner and Aldrich thus far able to hold off the pack of Hornets back behind. A big move down to the inside by Ty Richter. Richter grabs the inside lane, starts to slide up just a little bit. He's going to tuck in behind Aldrich through 4. Seeing James Watson checking in the comments here. And calling out my stupidity here. Ish is not I5G. There's a similar branded name, similar-ish name for a brand in there. Anyway, top 4 single file. Let's go back to 5th place Alec Coates and TJ McMurray, who are fighting side by side. By the way, all the cars that did not get away super quick at the beginning of this race have all caught back up. Already 7 laps on the board. Ty Richter down inside of Alec Coates. In fact, Richter tried to get inside of TJ McMurray. Oh, man, TJ, he's a little bit wobbly there through the middle of 3 and 4. So far, everybody is playing nice. One wrong move, though, and all hell is going to break loose here. Thus far, these drivers have been pretty content to not try to go for the insane 3-wide stuff just yet, but that's coming later in this race without a doubt. As lap number 10 is going to go up on the scoreboard next time by the start-finish line. Lap times have not dropped off hardly at all. Less than 1/10 of a second from the best laps of this race. Jason Hand, currently quickest overall, at a 24.375. Hand currently running back in the 10th position. A lot of times we'll show the intervals here and the gaps to the race leader, and it looks like nothing's going on. How about it? There's your intervals from car to car. I don't even know where to begin to look, quite frankly. Everybody packed up on top of each other, but the split from front to back is only 1.5 seconds from first place Craig Forsyth to last place J.W. Miller. The interesting thing here, Miller is down 8 spots from where he started tonight. You wonder if J.W. Miller isn't playing a little bit of the long game, trying to avoid any potential carnage that could happen in front of him. Jason Hand dipping way down to the inside of the racetrack. He's going to tuck in at the back. Nobody wants to be a part of this multi-wide racing at this point. We were hearing that you could potentially run Fuel Map 8, which is the under caution, super lean fuel map, and not lose the draft. You're going to overheat the engine and absolutely grenade it. But you can save a ton of fuel here. So the question may become a little bit of, can we make it to lap 50? I don't think that's necessarily an option. As we see the lights starting to really take effect here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. slide back in the pack here. Let's take an onboard look. Let's go on board with Jim Brooks. Just cruising around, 6th gear, 230 mile an hour down the end of the back straightaway. Dips down to about 215 through the corners. Just a very calm Sunday drive at absolute breakneck speeds. Towards the front of the field, going to be Vic Aldrich and TJ McMurray battling for the 3rd position. McMurray up on the high side of the racetrack. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there. Ty Richter sliding up almost into Alec Coates. Everybody keeps it on the straight and narrow. We saw drivers that were flat sideways through the corners after making contact, and the car was almost self-correcting on corner exit. Really just insane stuff. The question becomes, when do they start to get crazy aggressive? Already 20 laps in. We are almost at 1/4 distance. And we're going to do that number in about 10 minutes if we keep this pace up. So far, everybody's still on the lead lap. Jason Hand may have had some contact there over the course of his falling back through the field, because he is now running 4 seconds behind the lead pack, and that deficit, well, continues to grow. You just saw Jason popping off at turn 2 as the leaders were entering turn 3. Seeing James's comment a few minutes ago saying Brandon Trano. No, not Brandon Trano. I know who that is. At some point tonight, I will look and research it and maybe bring it back next season. We'll see. I doubt it, though. McMurray losing a little bit of ground on the high side of the racetrack. Cullen Johnston down to his inside. In fact, Johnston still trying to get up past McMurray. McMurray now alongside of Ty Richter off of 2. 2 cars can definitely at least hold their ground. The question becomes, do we see a 3rd lane develop? Drivers were talking in the pre-race about the fact that the tire fall-off was not real big here at Las Vegas. In fact, not a concern whatsoever. This was very much flat foot and turn left occasionally. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th that you are watching. Vic Aldrich down on the inside of the racetrack. TJ McMurray up on the high side. 3 wide entering turn number 3. They settle that back down real quick. Cullen Johnston tucking back in line. Still at least 10 laps away from where we anticipate the pit window opening. Once you get past lap 33, that puts you fully into 2-stop territory. 33.66, going to get you to the end of the race. By the way, this is not the only race coming up here tonight, the only pack race coming up tonight. Up next is the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, week number 3? No, week 7. Good Lord. Week 7 from Richmond Raceway. That's going to be another monster pack race coming up. And a very, very good strength of field expected once again this week. Things starting to heat up for position number 2. TJ McMurray, Alec Coates, the teammates working together on the high side of the racetrack. Alongside Matt Wagner through turns 3 and 4. Cullen Johnston coming up to join the party. TJ trying to get a little bit of a draft down the straightaway. Oh, man, what a shot up the gut by Vic Aldrich. Right down on the inside of the racetrack. The gap that was left there was so huge, that car absolutely sucked right up. Oh, TJ McMurray having a big-time connection blip there. That's not what you want to see at 230 miles an hour. Akin to the lights going out on the 410 sprint car race here we saw about a week or so ago. If you haven't seen those clips on the socials, go check them out. Absolutely terrifying it looked like. Full throttle in a 410 sprint car, and the entire racetrack goes dark. Not dark, black. Thus far, Wagner's been able to hold on. Wow, big drop back there by Vic Aldrich. Almost looks like Vic's trying to set up the run. He backs off at turn number 4. The problem is it opens up too big of a hole. Jim Brooks down on pit lane here at lap number 33. Maybe a little bit of a strategy call there out of the 51. The problem is I don't think the tires are going to make that much of a difference. And you're going to lose a lap in the process. A little bit deeper back in the pack here. Vic Aldrich, Cullen Johnston, Ty Richter, Brandon Ishkanian. Well, they were fanned out. Now it's Cullen Johnston running all alone on the high side of the racetrack. That'll get you freight trained without a little bit of help. Craig Forsyth put that number 72 machine on the pole. LMCgear.com on the side of that entry. He has led every lap from the drop. Matt Wagner up 2 spots to run in the 2nd position. Crowned grid rival ESRA INDYCAR Series champion once again. Here tonight with James Watson, not in the field. 3rd place right now belongs to TJ McMurray. How about it? Up 8 from the drop of the green flag. Oh, here comes race leader onto pit road. Darn near lost it coming in. What a save by Craig Forsyth. Really has to jam on the brakes to get it down to pit road speed. So there's sort of the answer to your question. Jason Hand coming down with them. Lap number 38. This will be a 2-stop race for Craig Forsyth and Jason Hand. The question becomes who's going to come in and when. Oh, and caution is out on the speedway. Yellow flag is out. We have trouble. Vic Aldrich, Ty Richter going to be involved. Take a look at the instant replay. Oh, TJ McMurray trying to get down onto pit lane. Several cars making contact down the front straightaway. That's going to be Ty Richter and Vic Aldrich getting involved there. Heavy left side pod damage on Vic Aldrich's Team Watson Racing Nitro Circus entry. Ty Richter had to take the tow. Oh, that is absolutely gut-wrenching for some of these guys. Because the question becomes now, where were the race leaders when the caution flag came out? And it looks like Matt Wagner was across the start-finish line to put another lap on the board. That's going to trap Craig Forsyth, Jim Brooks, and Jason Hand a lap down. They'll be able to get it back here and take the wave around. But Matt Wagner should be your race leader. Take a look here. He will be first one off a pit lane. Well, and 3 cars not electing to pit there. Oh, man, that is brutal for Brooks, Forsyth, and Hand. There's TJ McMurray. Based on where cars were when the caution flag came out, it looks like Craig Forsyth and Jason Hand will be scored ahead of McMurray on the racetrack. So they'll be able to come around. At least they should get the wave around. We'll see here when the field comes back to the 1 to green, but right now, TJ McMurray going to be your race leader. Yeah, TJ stopping at lap number 39. He got his service completed just prior to. Well, I thought he got it completed prior to. Unfortunately, looks like he is going to get an EOL penalty for entering a closed pit lane. So he will have to head to the back as well. That will put Matt Wagner back to the head of the field. Seeing Ty Richter coming back out onto the racetrack, he will be scored 2 laps down after 2 minutes and 29 seconds worth of pit repair time. Basically, the long and short there is let's kind of reset things now at this point. Craig Forsyth and Jason Hand were on pit lane when the caution flag came out. TJ McMurray was not yet on pit lane when the caution came out, or at least that's what it looks like based on where the field is starting to wrap out here. Forsyth and Hand are ahead of the race leader on the track. We'll see. Now the question becomes, is it a wave around league or is it a lapped cars to the back league? This incident could have trapped Craig Forsyth and Jason Hand a lap down. When the field gets the 1 to go signal, the wave around cars will pass the pace car. Unless they're getting sent to the back. Lights are out, and yeah, there's the call. They will be told to pass the pace car. So Craig Forsyth, Jason Hand going to tag in at the very back of the lead lap. Leaving only 1 car a lap down. That is Ty Richter, who was involved in that incident. Vic Aldrich was actually able to drive his car back to the pit lane. Took the pit stop. That's a 9.6 second stop. And the drivers do have a backup car at their disposal, so they used it early on in this one. Now if you have a bigger incident late in the race, not going to be a lot of fun here. As we see the cars of Forsyth and Hand tagging in at the back of the field, they will restart behind Ty Richter. Matt Wagner, Alec Coates, J.W. Miller, Joseph Morales, Jeff Destino, your top 5. Morales and Destino gaining 10 and 8 positions respectively. J.W. Miller, who spent the entire first hunk of this race at the back, now going to restart in the 3rd position. Pace car is in. We're getting ready to go back green. Y'all go ahead and crank it up. Not quite to the halfway point of this one yet. Matt Wagner got a great restart, but Alec Coates has caught right back up. J.W. Miller going to be there as well. Last time by, Jason Hand dropped the fastest lap of the race down to a 24.258. Wagner holds that white line all the way through 3 and 4. He's going to force Coates and Miller to do it the hard way around the outside of the racetrack. A little bit more trouble back here for Vic Aldrich. That car spun around. We will stay green right now, at least for now anyway. Take a look here and see if we can see what happened to Vic Aldrich that sent him around. Ooh, almost got a little bit of contact there. Big slide through the infield. Keeps it off of everything solid. Looks like, yeah, there's heavy right rear damage, though. Aldrich will have to make the run into the pit area. Everybody was spaced out about a lap and a half ago. Not so much anymore. Aldrich trying to get off a pit lane, having more issues. Loops the car around. Man, Vic not having a good time right now. Miller, Coates, Morales, Destino, McMurray. How about Craig Forsyth slicing and dicing his way through the field? Restarted at the end after taking the wave around. He is already back up to the 7th, now 6th position. Sliding just ahead of Jeff Destino. Jim Brooks going fastest lap at a 24.153. Cross flags last time by, halfway home. 25 minutes is all it's taken to go 100 and, was it 100 miles? No. It's a mile and a half racetrack there, bud. 75 miles for this 150 miler. My math skills are terrible. I either need to drink more or substantially less. We'll see. Forsyth way up around the outside of the racetrack, trying to go 3 wide through 3 and 4. Tucks back in line. He's got Morales down to the inside. Just ahead, TJ McMurray. Just back behind, Cullen Johnston. Big time race going on here at the front of the field. Alec Coates, TJ McMurray. McMurray down to the inside of the racetrack. Coates in that baby blue car up on the high side. Velocity Online Racing The VOR leagues on the side of that number 10. So now with these pit stops at lap number 40 and the caution flag laps that we did turn, question really becomes, is anybody going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel? I don't think they will, based on the fact that the pit stops were starting anywhere from lap 38 out to where the yellow flag happened at lap 40. J.W. Miller once again has gone to the back of the pack. Ty Richter up there in that blue VOR car on the outside of the racetrack, absolutely making life hell for the race leaders. Trouble for Jeff Destino on the racetrack. Oh, man, that car way jacked up. Take a look and see what happened here to Jeff Destino. Clips the inside. Oh, man, hard into the inside safer barrier. He's going to try to limp that race car back, but he will be multiple laps down by the time he gets that car back to pit lane. Looking at the numbers here, based on those lap numbers of a 38 to, we'll say, maybe a 45-lap range. Drivers who stopped at lap number 38 will have to come in for their final pit stop anywhere from lap 75 to lap 82. 77 to 84 for those drivers who made their pit stop at the first caution flag stop there at lap number 40. So about 15 or so laps to go here until we get to the final pit stops of the season for the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. Had some pretty good discussions here with league management. Hopefully we're going to be able to have an announcement here of the return of ESRA to the NRN airwaves here coming up a little bit later on here in 2022. League normally takes about a 4 to 6 week break anyway, so we'll get those announcements out for you as soon as we get all the deals signed up. But I'll tell you what, we got a great race going on right now. Alec Coates has gotten around Matt Wagner up on the high side. Wagner trying to use Ty Richter to draft from down the back straightaway. Oh, Cullen Johnson almost getting into the back of Coates at the entry to 3. He really had to back out of the throttle. Tucks everybody back in. Craig Forsyth chopping the nose off of Joseph Morales off at turn number 4. Right now, 9 cars all within 1 second of the race leader. And at the speed things happen here, especially trying to get on and off a pit road, green flag pit stops will be treacherous here once again. And at this point, you don't want to be the car that gets caught a lap down by trying the undercut strategy. James Watson is absolutely laying into me in the comments here on YouTube. James, you should get in the booth instead of sitting there in a while you're sitting there in the plane terminal. We can screen share and talk to you. Forsyth up around the outside of TJ McMurray. He's going to get that pass completed. Trying to now pick off Alec Coates. Ty Richter still being scored a lap down, but he is at the head of the pack. He has gained back one of the 2 laps that were lost as a result of the incident that brought out the first caution flag. Craig Forsyth has gained everything back as well. He's now in second, coming around the outside of Coates down the front straightaway. Going to put lap number 69 up on the board. James doesn't want everyone else in the airport to have to suffer from his screaming. TSA won't let you on an airplane if they hear you screaming at the top of your lungs following this race. So everybody's single filed out. They are very content to ride where they are. It will be 30 laps to go next time by. And yeah, this race is going to be over in about 48 to 50 minutes in total, and we're already 33 and a half into it. That's pretty darn impressive for these guys. Fantastic racing for the IR-18s thus far at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Seeing Forsyth poke his nose out just a little bit. Not sure if that's telling Wagner that he's here in the rearview mirror or trying to get a little bit of air in to help cool that number 72 off, but how about Jeremy Freer moving up to the high side here, coming around TJ McMurray, trying to get that pass completed. Not going to be there just yet. Oh, Forsyth goes around. Forsyth spins down to the inside of the racetrack, contact with the inside retaining wall, tears the nose off the car. Oh, man, what happened to Craig Forsyth? Oh, same deal. Clips the white line, spins it to the inside. What a heartbreaker for Craig Forsyth. That's 2 weeks in a row now that Forsyth has issues. And I'll tell you what, you cannot get this car down on the flat part of the racetrack through the tri-oval. I can't believe everybody else. There was no incident, nothing, with cars checking up. That was literally just keep your foot in it and go. Absolutely unreal. Possibly not the worst time for Craig Forsyth to have that issue. Yes, he lost a ton of time on the racetrack, but he is going to get to make his final pit stop. He did have the backup car available. 6.1 seconds was the lap time there for Craig Forsyth as he's coming back out on the racetrack and tagging in right at the back of the lead pack. Well, Jeremy Freer, I think, was trying to get onto pit lane. That car way out of shape down on the inside of the racetrack. I'll tell you what, this is going to be the story of the race. Who can get on and off of pit lane cleanly? Freer now able to get onto the pit lane. And it is splash and dash kind of territory here. Can't be too fast entering, can't be too fast exiting, can't have a blend line violation. Got to make sure you hit your marks as well. Oh, man, Ty Richter really wobbly trying to get down on the pit lane. Jason Hand also on the pit lane right now. He's pitting from the 6th position. Having Ty Richter out in front of the field was a very big help to race leader Matt Wagner. He was able to save a ton of fuel for about 15, maybe 20 laps with Richter ahead of him. Jason Hand, Cullen Johnston both on pit lane. Hand on his way out of the pits. 10.07 seconds time of the stop for Jason Hand. So probably a little bit of damage repair to get done there. Cullen Johnston is in. TJ McMurray is in. Johnston down and away out of his box. 7.13 seconds the time of the stop. Short fill. Only enough speedway fuel to make it to the end here. Here comes your race leader, Matt Wagner. Alec Coates on pit lane for the final time. Both cars getting down to pit road speed. We'll follow Wagner as he comes down for his stop. TJ McMurray on his way out of the box after an 8.55 second stop. J.W. Miller making his way in now for his final service. Wagner down and away, 8.4 seconds, 8.67 for Alec Coates. See what J.W. Miller is going to be able to do. Brandon Ishkanian making his way down pit lane this time as well. Should cycle Matt Wagner right back to the race lead. Miller cleanly in, hits his box. Car goes up on the jack, so it will be a 4-tire change for fresh Firestone Firehawks. Full tank Speedway fuel. He's down and away, 8.2 seconds. Got to make sure you don't over-rev it and spin the car down here as well. Miller thus far holding on to the race lead, but here comes Jim Brooks, Joseph Morales, Matt Wagner. Oh, the race is on. It'll be 15 to go next time by, and it's a new race leader, Jim Brooks. Ty Richter up on the outside of that group. Lap cars may still have something to say here late in this race. Great strategy called by Brooks, stopping at lap number 62. That has put him at the head of the field. Joseph Morales staying tucked up right in line. Matt Wagner runs third, just back behind Wagner. That is the 98 of Vic Aldrich. He will not be in contention here. Aldrich currently 5 laps down to the race. Leaders catching up on additional lap traffic here. That is Brandon Ishkanian. Ooh, almost a little bit of contact there between Morales and Richter. Oh, big! That was huge net code. Ty Richter launches into the outside safer barrier. Wow, those two cars weren't even close to each other. Ty Richter getting the short end of the stick there. But that is going to set up a wild finish to this race. No lap cars now separating your top three. Brandon Ishkanian up and out of the way on the high side of the racetrack. Morales thought about trying to get up and get the draft. It's not going to work. Matt Wagner now going to try the same thing through three. Ty Richter trying to limp that race car back to pit lane. Jim Brooks has opened up a gap, and it may be too big. Oh, and yellow is out. Caution flag is on the speedway. I believe that is for Ty Richter trying to get down onto pit lane. Oh, yeah, there it is. Car just will not make a left-hand turn. Other race traffic trying to get past. And that's what brings out the caution flag with the wild flipping tire. And oh, my goodness. This is how you want to end a season. How about a 5-lap shootout for the race win? All the lead lap cars will be lined up nose to tail. Anybody between the race leader and the pace car will get the wave around. Anybody that is not between them will have to move to the back of the line. Looks like Brandon Ishkanian will get a wave around. That will put him back on the lead lap. Jeremy Freer, Cullen Johnston on pit lane. I'll tell you what, maybe not the worst call ever. You were back there anyway. Give yourself a chance to put some fresh Firestone tires on these race cars and see if you can use that fresh rubber to your advantage. But this one is going to be all draft battle. We talked about when the carnage was going to happen. When were people going to stop being patient? That time is now. Jim Brooks has had a pretty darn good season. We'll say a decent season here in the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series. 8 starts. 1 top 5, 5 top 10 finishes. Still trying to claim his first win of the season. Joseph Morales only making 7 starts this season, 3 top 10 finishes. Another guy who's got a great chance to have his best finish of the year. And they've got the reigning and defending champion behind him, Matt Wagner. Restarting this race in the 3rd position. J.W. Miller currently 4th in points. Won't be able to pass Craig Forsyth for 3rd, I don't think, even if he were able to come up and win. But he's locked into a tight battle with Alec Coates, who is right behind him on the racetrack. That's only a 7-point difference separating those two drivers for 4th in the standings. So Miller and Coates not only battling for a win, but battling for championship positions as well. Double O, Jason Hand back there, 14th in points. 12 starts, only 1 top 10. He has a crack at a top 5 finish here tonight. And then, let's not forget here, slide back to the 8th position. Craig Forsyth spun, touching the white line through the tri-oval. looped that car around, made pretty heavy contact with the inside retaining wall, was able to drive back, take the backup car. He's back there in 8th. 2 laps, that's not enough to get back to the front of the field. However, a 6-lap shootout is absolutely going to be enough time for Craig Forsyth to make a big move. Do not go anywhere. This is going to be wild. Just seeing the comment here from James Watson. The good thing about not running is I can root for my teammates and friends without being a salty bitch that it wasn't me winning. Yes, absolutely, James. Although with your luck, you're probably boarding an aircraft right now. Give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from here. It will be 6 laps to go when the green flag flies. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Brooks gets a fantastic restart. He will easily be the race leader by a half second as they get to turn number 1, but it is not going to last. Joseph Morales going to tow along Matt Wagner, J.W. Miller, Alec Coates, and Jason Hand. That was not the kind of restart that Craig Forsyth wanted to see. They are 3 wide for second. Wagner holds on to the spot. Here comes Miller with Coates on the rear wing. Morales holding down the inside, working with Jim Brooks. Miller once again tries to throw it high to the outside. He wants around Matt Wagner. 3 wide for the race lead in 3. 5 cars jammed up, jelly tight for the win. Call it less than 2 tenths as they get to the line. It's still Jim Brooks. Once again, Wagner going to get the drafting help. But this slicing and dicing has opened it up. It is a huge pack of race cars at the front now. They're 9 deep for the win at Vegas. 2 to go. Miller trying to make the high side work. He's got Craig Forsyth right there with him. Wagner up the inside. Brooks still down to the inside. Morales all over his back end. Coates going to be tucked up behind the red 61 of Morales. Inside lane holding tough here. Forsyth now going to go way up to the outside. Oh, Forsyth almost got into Wagner in 3. J.W. Miller going to be right there as well. White flag is out. 1 lap to go here at Las Vegas. Brooks holds on to the lead. Wagner still not able to get the momentum up on the outside of the racetrack. Big dog pile of cars heading for 3 and the race win. Wagner, big momentum shove up the outside. They're making contact off of 4. Big shove down the inside. Drag race to the line. Jim Brooks gets the win. Wagner comes home second. They wad him up after the checkered. That's how you end a season. My goodness. I think the only car left unscathed is that of race winner Jim Brooks. What a finish here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What looks to be quite possibly a dead heat for second between Joseph Morales and Matt Wagner. J.W. Miller came home 4th by 3/100ths of a second to find a 10th. We got to go all the way back to 8th place Cullen Johnston. Holy cow. What a run. Yeah, there it is. Jim Brooks, your race winner. A dead heat for second between Joseph Morales and Matt Wagner, even to the 1,000th, which means Morales slightly ahead to the 10,000th or deeper. J.W. Miller fourth. Alec Coates is fifth, 1/10 of a second back. Greg Forsyth, T.J. McMurray, Cullen Johnston, Jason Hand, Brandon Ishkani in your top 10. Excuse me. How about a quarter of a second separating the top 10 cars in the finish? Oh, my goodness. Jeremy Freer comes home 11th. Jeff Destino finishing 4 laps down in 12th. 13th belongs to Vic Aldrich, 5 laps behind. Ty Richter finishing in the 14th position. And Navarre Luce, I don't think, is even going to score any points for the effort tonight. Did not turn a lap in any of the sessions, but oh, my God. What a finish to this one. Get ready for our Victory Lane interviews here. We'll see how many we're going to have time for here. We're going to get at least one in. Let's bring in our race winner tonight, Mr. Jim Brooks. Good Lord, man. That was abject insanity times 11. Tell us about that last restart. You had 6 to go, I guess, 5 to go when you came back to green.
Yeah, that was crazy. The whole idea was keep it low and hopefully nobody got the little slingshot on the outside, and it barely worked.
What did you see through that final lap? We took the white flag. You had the lead. Nobody was directly alongside of you yet. All of a sudden, it seemed like they were 3, almost 4 wide trying to come around you there.
Yeah, I saw Matt outside, and then I heard 3 wide, and then I saw coming to the checkers, I saw Joseph go down on the apron, which I was kind of expecting. I wasn't too worried. I thought he was too far back to gain. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that looks like.
It looked like it was a lot of fun out there. What are your thoughts on these kind of packed up, almost restrictor plate style racing for the Indy cars?
Yeah, it's crazy. It kind of used to it. It used to be like this everywhere, but since they changed the car and all the tires and all that, it's a little different. But, yeah, early on, I figured I was going to pit a third of the way, and I did that, and that was going to work, I think, but the caution came out. I was lucky dog, and then I did the same thing on the last pit stop. As soon as the window opened, I went a lap more than that, and then I pitted and then just tried to run smooth, hard laps, and I ended up in the lead after everybody pitted, so it actually worked.
I was going to say, that was going to be the last question, was you made the pit stop, the final pit stop early. I didn't think the undercut was going to be a workable strategy here tonight. Was that the plan all along, was to try to short stop that, or what was the thought process there?
Definitely. I tried it on the first one, and if it would have gone green, I think I would have gotten the lead then also. It's just a matter of when they're all packed up like that, you're not running, the leader's running, but everybody, you're running slower. I was catching people, half a second, 0.3 of a second a lap. So by having those extra 10, 15 laps, whatever it was, I was able to do enough to get in the lead when everybody cycled through.
I tell you what, it's an absolutely brilliant strategy call, quite frankly. Not the way I would have played it out in my head. So congratulations, Jim, on a fantastic way to close out the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar season. I'll tell you what, that metallic green on that race car tonight absolutely pops under the lights. Fantastic. The scheme looks gorgeous. Tell us who's on the side of it for you.
That's Area 51 IndyCar Series, which we're a partner with the ESRA. And, it's good to be here and obviously good to get a win.
All right, Jim. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you hanging out with us a little bit here at the end. And, oh, my goodness. If that's how we're going to start this evening, game on. We got one more big race coming up here in just a few minutes. It will be the Indy Pro 2000 Championship coming up from Richmond Raceway. Jim Brooks takes the win. Matt Wagner somehow ahead of Joseph Morales at the line. Absolutely insane. A dead heat for second and third. And Wagner claiming the series championship as well. Absolutely incredible race here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Looking forward to hopefully having these guys back in about 5-6 weeks or so, and going to be a lot of fun. But until then, don't go away. A lot of racing action coming up here. Silver Crowns on Monday nights. Tear It Up Tuesday. On Tuesday night, 358s versus the Big Blocks. Sim Racers Club is off this week, but then we're right back with the PM18s next Thursday night and live coverage all weekend from the Rolex 24. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the Indy Pro 2000 Championship from Richmond.